1 in 5 people currently incarcerated within the United States are locked up because of non-violent drug offenses. And when these individuals are released from prison, they have a high relapse or recidivism rate. Recidivism is the likelihood of someone reoffending once they get outside of prison. Around 68% of offenders are back behind bars within 3 years. However, when these same individuals are put through drug courts instead of traditional prisons, the rate of recidivism drops by 8 to 26 percentage points. This is according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and research done by Wilson, Mitchell, and McKenzie for the Journal of Experimental Criminology. I'm almost done with my degree in public administration and public policy and administration. This degree is essentially the study of how to make government work. One of the many issues that I've extensively researched over my time here at BYUI is drug incarceration rates within the United States and how to improve those. Every American who's not actively or directly involved with the many, even Americans who are not actively or directly involved or with those who tangle within the drug trade, Americans still pay for this via taxes. Sending a person to jail and not to drug court costs taxpayers nearly twice the same amount. And this is according to the U.S. Department of Human Health and Resources. Drug courts need to become the standard when treating those with non-violent drug offenses. They are more effective in reducing the recidivism rate and cost effective. And this is the best way to make government work. First, we'll discuss the common myths associated with drug courts, from the idea that addicts only need to detox. It is less effective than jail or prison time, and it is the most effective, and drug courts are the most effective use of our tax dollars. Now we've got an overview of what we're discussing. Let's go into the misconceptions. First, that addicts only need to detox to get better. So why not just throw them in prison and it'll work? Many within the United States misunderstand what it means to be addicted to drugs. Drugs take away many people's will to live. From mothers with newborns who can't take care of them, to fathers who can't keep their lives in order to be with their kids. It is a strong force that requires much more than going cold turkey, and this is found in the Journal of Experimental Criminology. Poor women within the United States often resort to desperate measures to support their small families when a man or partner are not available. Some resort to sex work, which is extremely damaging to the human psyche. Because of this, they use drugs to limit how much they feel, a way to numb the pain. This problem is not just a physical one, but deeply emotional and psychological. This affects everyone who's in touch with those involved with drugs. And the damage that is done affects society as a whole. The best way to combat this is through a more holistic approach, not just throwing people into a cell for 24/7, 365, and just hope they're better when they come back out. Since we now know that simply locking up individuals doesn't work, we can now look towards the effectiveness of drug courts. Some people contend that drug courts are less effective than standard incarceration. There's a stereotype within the United States that talking up problems is a less effective way to solving the issue. We like to think you just tough it up and you're able to do things. That's not true. As we've explored before, when a person decides to get involved with drugs, it's usually because of deeply personal issues and reasons, and this is according to the National Institute on Drug Use. Because drug use is significantly tied to psychological issues, there are psychological ways to deal with such things, and this can be addressed within drug courts. As we presented earlier, drug courts lower the recidivism rate by 8 to 26%. Many would point that in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot. But again, we are aiming for the best solution we have at this point. And remember, I'm studying how to make government work the best. And for everything we have available to us, drug courts are the best way to go. Since we've established that drug courts are the best way to address drug-related felons, we need to see if this is the most cost-effective way to do it, because even if it's the best way to do it, if it's not cost-effective, you can't implement it on a wide scale. But thank goodness, drug courts are way more cost-effective than standard incarceration. The best options for policy within government are those that work and that can be done on a massive scale. For example, it's best for elementary age students to be taught in small numbered classes. However, in today's world, it's not cost effective to have class sizes smaller than 10 students, even though this is the best way to teach. According to Stanford University studies, it costs the government about $20,000 to $50,000 to keep someone incarcerated for a single year. On the flip side, having one person in a drug court system only costs the state $2,500 to $4,000 per offender each year. If most nonviolent drug offenders were processed via drug courts, it would save the government millions of dollars every single year. Let's bring everything together that we've learned and prove that once and for all, drug courts are better than mass incarceration. Even though it makes Americans uncomfortable to offer second chances to those who break the law to different forms of punishment to incarceration, it really truly is the best way to be done. It helps these people. It allows them to get away from these drug-related issues. It makes it so that they don't re-offend, and it's a better investment all in all. Americans have the ability to make the lives better for those who have slipped into the throes of addiction. This is why we need to push for the mass implementation of drug courts. If we want the world to become a better place, we need to show mercy towards those the most damaged within our society.